What causes the aurora borealis? Imagine, for a moment, being in an isolated place where the night is so deep that it seems to swallow the horizon. Yet, instead of a completely dark sky, you're surprised by a dance of green, red, purple, and even pink lights painting the sky, moving like flowing curtains. You are witnessing something grand and mysterious, the aurora borealis. But what exactly causes this magical phenomenon that has fascinated and terrified humans for centuries? The answer lies in the depths of space, where invisible and powerful forces meet the Earth in ways that we, as inhabitants of this planet, often cannot even imagine. To understand what causes the aurora borealis, we need to journey to the outer reaches of our solar system, where the solar wind begins its journey. The journey of the solar wind. The story begins at the heart of our sun's. Stunning images of our star reveal its constantly agitated surface, with eruptions of matter and energy directed out into space. These explosions are not just simple sparks. They're the solar wind, a continuous flow of charged particles, mostly electrons and protons, that travel at high speeds toward the solar system. These particles move at an impressive speed, reaching Earth in just 2 or 3 days. When the solar wind reaches our planet, it does not simply pass through it like a gentle breeze. Instead, it interacts with one of Earth's most powerful and invisible forces, the magnetic field. Earth's magnetic field, the invisible protector. Earth's magnetic field, an invisible force generated by the planet's core, acts as a massive protective shield, deflecting many of these charged particles. Imagine it as a giant shield, diverting dangerous particles that could affect our satellites, communication systems, and even our own bodies. However, the magnetic field is not perfect and has areas where particles can enter. These regions, located mainly near the North and South poles, are known as entry points. When the solar wind particles reach these entry points, they are drawn toward Earth's atmosphere due to the action of the magnetic field. On their way to Earth, the particles are accelerated and enter the atmosphere, where they begin to collide with the gases that make up the air. The dance of particles with atmospheric gases. Now, we reach the fascinating and visually stunning part of the phenomenon. When the charged particles of the solar wind collide with oxygen and nitrogen atoms in Earth's atmosphere, they transfer energy to these atoms. This energy exchange causes the oxygen and nitrogen atoms to excite, meaning they absorb the energy and then release it in the form of light, bright, colorful lights that are visible to us on Earth. Oxygen, when excited, emits green light, which is the most common color in the aurora borealis, especially at lower altitudes, between 80 and 300 kilometers above Earth's surface. However, when oxygen is at higher altitudes, above 300 kilometers, it can emit a red light, a rarer and equally stunning phenomenon. Nitrogen, on the other hand, can produce a more complex palette of colors. When nitrogen atoms are excited, they can produce blue or even purple lights, depending on how the particles interact with them. As these collisions and energy releases happen over a vast area, the lights dance in the sky, creating the ethereal beauty we know as the aurora borealis. The behavior of the lights, a celestial dance. But what makes this phenomenon even more impressive is the way the lights move. The auroras are not static. They dance, curve, and flow, almost as if they are alive. This movement is caused by variations in the intensity of the solar wind and its dynamic interaction with Earth's magnetic field. During periods of intense solar activity, when the sun is more active in an 11-year cycle known as the solar cycle, the solar wind intensifies and the auroras can become even brighter and more expansive, creating light displays that can be seen from great distances. A scientific and spiritual revelation. The beauty of the aurora borealis goes beyond its visual impact. Throughout history, it has been a source of fascination, mystery, and even spirituality. In many indigenous cultures, such as the Inuit of the Arctic, the aurora was seen as the spirits of ancestors dancing in the sky. For the ancient Norse, the lights were interpreted as a reflection of the Valkyries' armor, divine warriors who took fallen heroes to Valhalla. But today, We know that these extraordinary lights are much more than just a legend. They are the result of a complex and marvelous natural phenomenon, where invisible forces from the cosmos meet Earth in a spectacular way with profound scientific and aesthetic consequences. The legacy of the auroras, a connection to the universe. Today, the aurora borealis not only enchants sky watchers, but also provides important clues about the behavior of Earth's magnetic field and solar activity. Scientists study the auroras to understand how the sun affects our planet, from radiation emission to its impact on our technologies like satellites and communication systems. The auroras also help unravel deeper mysteries about space, weather, and its implications for life on Earth. So, the next time you find yourself in a privileged location and witness the dance of lights in the sky, remember, you are observing a phenomenon caused by cosmic forces that range from the heart of the sun to Earth's magnetic field. The aurora borealis is undoubtedly a spectacular reminder of our connection to the universe, a glimpse into the grandeur and beauty of the cosmos. This dance of lights in the sky is not just a natural spectacle. It is a silent message from space, telling us that the universe is far greater and more mysterious than any of us can comprehend. Northern Lights colors and their meanings. Imagine yourself on a cold, silent night in the Arctic, where the darkness seems almost complete, but suddenly, the sky lights up with colors you never thought were possible. A soft green begins to dance slowly along the horizon, followed by flashes of red and purple that intertwine, forming a curtain of lights that sway and spread like a wave in space. Without a doubt, you are witnessing one of nature's most breathtaking wonders, the aurora borealis. But did you know that these colors, which seem like a miracle of beauty, have profound meanings and are, in fact, messages from the cosmos itself? Every color that appears in the sky is not random. They are caused by specific physical phenomena occurring at the highest altitudes of our atmosphere, and each one reveals something about the conditions at that moment. The mystery of the aurora borealis colors. The aurora borealis, also known as the Northern Lights, is not simply an explosion of colors in the sky. It is a direct result of the interaction between the solar wind, a stream of charged particles emitted by the sun, and Earth's atmosphere. When these particles collide with the atoms of gases in the atmosphere, like oxygen and nitrogen, they release energy in the form of light. However, the color of the light we see depends on many factors, such as the altitude where the collision occurs, the type of gas involved, and the amount of energy transferred. Now, let's travel through these colors, discovering not only what causes each one, but also what they tell us about the phenomenon happening up there. Green, the most common color of the aurora borealis. Among all the colors the auroras can display, green is undoubtedly the most common. This bright green light is produced by the excitation of oxygen atoms at lower altitudes, between 80 and 300 kilometers above the Earth's surface. When solar wind particles hit the oxygen at the lower part of the atmosphere, they transfer energy to the oxygen atoms, which emit green light as they return to their normal state. The beauty of this color feels like it connects us to the very essence of Earth. Green, often associated with nature and growth, serves as a reminder that even in the most remote and frozen parts of the planet, life and energy are still at play. Its prevalence in the auroras is a visual manifestation of our bond with the planet, and the fact that it's the most common color reveals how Earth responds to the touch of the solar wind. Red, the mystery of high altitudes. But it's not just green that enchants us in the auroras. When you look closely, flashes of red might appear. This color is rarer and occurs at much higher altitudes, above 300 kilometers. Oxygen is once again responsible, but here, the story is a bit different. As charged particles hit oxygen at these great altitudes, they excite the atom in a way that results in the emission of red light. Red is a color associated with mystery and cosmic energy, symbolizing something deep and distant. It's as if the sky is sending a message to those who know how to look. This more subtle and ethereal red light appears only under very specific solar activity conditions. For some, it evokes images of fire, of something primal and eternal, a reminder that we are witnessing the dance of forces that transcend our time and space. Purple and blue, the magic of nitrogen. As the aurora borealis continues to unfold in the sky, new colors may emerge, including purple and blue. These fascinating hues are often caused by the interaction of solar wind with nitrogen in our atmosphere. When solar wind particles collide with nitrogen atoms, they generate blue or purple light, depending on the amount of energy transferred and the altitude at which the collisions occur. The purple and blue colors of the auroras are like an invitation to the deep mysteries of the universe. Purple, with its association to royalty and the esoteric, brings a sense that we are witnessing something rare and intangible, something beyond the reach of everyday understanding. Meanwhile, blue, colder and more intense, has a mysterious energy, as if the lights were illuminating the very secrets of the cosmos. Yellow and white. When the lights intensify, though less common, auroras can also display touches of yellow and even white. Yellow is often a blend of green with nitrogen, creating a soft shade that can envelop the auroras in a radiant glow, almost like an ethereal veil. White appears when the solar activity is so intense that the lights become brighter and more uniform, blending all the colors in the palette so perfectly that the human eye perceives it as a white glow. These lighter colors are often seen when the aurora reaches its peak intensity, signaling significant solar activity or a geomagnetic storm when the sun is releasing a larger amount of charged particles. The white glow, then, is like a climax, a culmination of cosmic energy manifesting in the sky. The meaning of the colors, what they reveal to us. Every color we see in the aurora borealis has a deep, scientifically explainable meaning, but they also carry a symbolic power that transcends the limits of physics. They are like signs from the cosmos, representing our connection to the universe, our vulnerability, and our ability to marvel at something so grand and mysterious. Green connects us to Earth, to our daily lives, and to our balance with nature. Red, so rare, reminds us of primal strength and cosmic power. Purple and blue are like enigmatic messages from other worlds, prompting us to question what lies beyond the horizon of the known. And yellow and white, so luminous, indicate the intensity and power of the cosmic energy that, for a brief moment, becomes visible to us, small human beings. The spectacle of colors, a transformative experience. The experience of watching the aurora borealis is unique and transformative. It's not just a visual phenomenon. It's a journey within and beyond oneself into the vast and mysterious universe. Each color is a masterpiece of nature, a story told by the stars, the charged particles from the sun and Earth's gases. And by watching the spectacle, you become part of a much larger story where physics, beauty, and mystery converge to create one of nature's greatest shows. The aurora borealis is not just a dance of lights in the sky. It is a reminder that there is so much more to see and understand in the cosmos. And perhaps deep down, it is also an invitation for us to continue exploring and marveling at the colors the universe has to show us. Where and when can you see the northern lights? Imagine being in one of the most remote places on the planet, far from the hustle and bustle of the cities, where silence is profound and the vastness of nature seems endless. The snow covers the ground, reflecting the soft light of the stars, and the air is so pure that you feel the energy of the earth pulsing with every breath. Suddenly, something extraordinary happens. The sky begins to light up with an indescribable spectacle. Waves of green, red, purple, and yellow lights form on the horizon and dance across the sky in a hypnotizing movement, as if the universe itself is communicating with you. You are undoubtedly witnessing one of the most incredible natural phenomena the Earth has to offer, the Northern Lights. But where and when exactly can you witness this cosmic light show? And why does it occur in certain places and times of the year? The journey to the Arctic Circle. To see the Northern Lights, you must venture away from the big cities, away from places illuminated by artificial light, and head toward the regions closest to the Arctic Circle. These are the areas where the chances of witnessing the dancing lights in the sky are greatest. The Arctic Circle, located at 66.5 degrees north latitude, includes parts of some of the most fascinating countries in the world, such as Norway, Sweden, Finland, Iceland, Canada, and Alaska. In these places, the northern lights are more visible because the Earth's magnetic field is stronger and directed toward the poles. This is where solar wind particles interact with Earth's atmosphere, creating the colorful lights that capture our imagination. If you are in one of these locations, you will be in one of the best places on Earth to see the aurora in its most vibrant form. Norway, the land of fjords and magical lights. In Norway, especially in places like Tromsø and the Lofoten Islands, the northern lights become a constant visitor during the winter months. Tromsø, known as the gateway to the Arctic, is located within the Arctic Circle and therefore offers an excellent opportunity to see the dancing lights. Imagine cruising through dark fjords as the northern lights reflect on the frozen waters. The experience is indescribable and deeply spiritual, a true connection with the natural forces of the planet. Iceland, the island of fire and ice. Iceland, with its landscape of volcanoes, geysers, and glaciers, is another popular destination for aurora hunters. In Reykjavik and the more remote areas of the island, such as Thingvellir National Park or the northern coast, the northern lights can be seen dancing above the landscape of fire and ice. The combination of vibrant lights with dramatic landscapes makes each moment even more impressive. And the best part is that, due to Iceland's strategic location, the chances of seeing the aurora are high, especially during the winter. Canada and Alaska, the wild north of America. In Canada, particularly in places like Yellowknife in the Northwest Territories or the Yukon regions, the chances of seeing the aurora are quite high. The clear skies and low light pollution create ideal conditions for the northern lights to reveal themselves in all their glory. The landscapes of boreal forests and frozen lakes provide the perfect backdrop for this natural spectacle. Alaska, with its vast wilderness and its location near the Arctic Circle, is one of the most iconic places for aurora viewing. In cities like Fairbanks, where the night sky can light up with otherworldly colors, the aurora is a near-guaranteed attraction from September to April, with peak activity around the autumn and spring equinoxes. The best time to see the northern lights. Now that you know where you can see the northern lights, it's time to understand when they appear in the sky. The northern lights are visible during the fall and winter months, primarily from September to March, when the nights are longer and the sky is darker. The reason for this is simple. The aurora is only visible at night, when the sky is dark enough to reflect the colors emitted by the collisions of solar wind particles with Earth's atmosphere. Fall and winter, the best season. During the fall and winter months, especially between September and March, the Earth is tilted in such a way that the planet's magnetic field attracts more solar particles to the polar regions. The combination of extreme cold with long nights creates ideal conditions for the auroras to display in all their glory. The long nights also ensure more hours of darkness, increasing the chances of a good sighting. However, spring and summer are not ideal for aurora viewing, as the nights are shorter and the brightness of the sun, even within the Arctic Circle, can interfere with visibility. Even in summer, in regions above the Arctic Circle, the phenomenon of the midnight sun occurs, when the sun never fully sets, making observation impossible. The importance of solar activity. In addition to the time of year, solar activity plays a crucial role in the intensity of the northern lights. During periods of maximum solar activity, which occur every 11 years, the sun releases more charged particles that reach the Earth, creating stronger and more vibrant auroras. These periods are known as solar cycles, and during peaks of activity, auroras can be seen at lower latitudes, far from the Arctic Circle, such as in the northern regions of Europe and North America. What would make your trip even more special? Now, imagine you are traveling to one of these magical places during the ideal season, with a clear and cloudless sky, far from the artificial lights of the cities. And then, the miracle happens. You look up at the sky, and the lights begin to appear like an ethereal curtain of colors dancing before your eyes. The Arctic chill, the deep silence, and the magic of the aurora make the world around you disappear, and you feel part of something much greater, a cosmic dance that has been occurring for millions of years. It is not just the beauty of the phenomenon that is impressive. There is something deeply spiritual about being there, in those remote regions, where the sky seems to speak directly to the soul. The glow of the auroras is not just a sight, but a sensory and emotional experience that will forever mark the memory of those lucky enough to witness them. So, the next time you dream of the northern lights, remember, the aurora is waiting for you. If you choose the right place and travel at the right time, you could be one of the few touched by this cosmic magic. It is your chance to see the impossible become reality. And when that happens, the sky is no longer just a ceiling. It becomes a canvas for a light and color show that the universe has to offer. Myths and legends about the northern lights. On a cold night, in the heart of the vast northern landscapes, where the sky seems endless and the silence is profound, a celestial spectacle begins to unfold. Bright colors emerge on the horizon, green, red, purple, and yellow, dancing gently, creating shapes that seem to transcend reality. For the human eye, the aurora borealis is a scientific wonder, a phenomenon caused by the interaction of solar particles with the Earth's atmosphere. But for those who have lived and will live in lands where this phenomenon occurs, the lights in the sky hold a different meaning. They are messages from the gods, spirits that walk the earth, or even souls dancing in the stars. And their story dates back millennia of tradition and mystery. The aurora borealis is not only a charming sight, but also a rich tapestry of myths and legends that span different cultures and civilizations. Behind the lights that illuminate the Arctic sky, each culture offers a story, a unique explanation, and an interpretation of the magical lights, making the northern lights one of the most enigmatic and beloved natural phenomena. The aurora in Nordic folklore, divine lights and warrior spirits. In cold lands, where winter dominates most of the year and the sun seems to hide for weeks on end, the ancient Nordic people looked to the sky with a mix of reverence and fear. For them, the auroras were seen as signs from the gods or the souls of dead warriors. In Scandinavian folklore, especially in Norway and Sweden, it was believed that the lights were generated by the flames of the gods' fiery chariots, as if Baldur, the god of light, was crossing the sky in his blazing chariot, spreading his light across the earth. The glow and movement of the auroras were interpreted as signs from the sun god, illuminating the paths of mortals or perhaps bringing divine messages. Additionally, the Vikings had an equally fascinating story. It was believed that the northern lights were the souls of brave warriors who had died in battle and were now being guided by Valkyries, the celestial warrior maidens, toward Valhalla, the great hall of heroes. When the Vikings saw the lights in the sky, they thought that the souls of their ancestors were celebrating their entry into the realm of the gods, surrounded by the vibrant energy of the northern lights. For the Norse, these lights were not just something to be admired, but a direct sign from the spiritual world, connecting them with those who had passed, the Inuit and the spirits of animals. Farther north, where glaciers and biting winds shaped the lives of the people, the Inuit, indigenous peoples of the Arctic regions of Canada, Alaska, and Greenland, also had their own legends about the lights that illuminate the sky during the long winter nights. For them, the auroras were not cosmic phenomena, but spiritual manifestations much closer to human life. The Inuit believed that the lights in the sky were caused by the spirits of animals, particularly seals, which they hunted and which were central figures in their life and survival. One of the most well-known legends among the Inuit describes the auroras as the dancing souls of women who, after death, transformed into lights and were destined to play in the sky. They were considered joyful and mischievous, dancing and laughing in the firmament, touching the hearts of the living with their vibrant energy. However, there was a warning within this legend. If anyone dared to wave at the lights, it could cause the souls to attack, catching them with their claws and taking them to the sky. Therefore, the Inuit taught that when seeing the auroras, it was better to remain calm and respectful, not calling attention to the playful souls. The first civilizations, interpreting the mystery in other parts of the world where the auroras were also visible, such as in Russia and northern China, the interpretations were equally filled with mystery and spirituality. In ancient Russia, the northern lights were associated with the presence of powerful spirits or mythical entities that inhabited the sky and the beyond. They were seen as a manifestation of the spiritual world, signaling changes or prophecies that were approaching. Among the indigenous cultures of northern Canada and the First Nations, the auroras were also interpreted in various ways, often as a bond with ancestral spirits. For tribes living in the vast expanses of the north, such as the Cree and Ojibwe, the lights were associated with the presence of celestial beings who were attentive to the behavior of humans on Earth. The auroras, like the winds running through the mountains, were seen as signs that the balance of the world was being observed and that the cycle of life should be respected. The aurora borealis in Japan, divine lights in the sky. Although Japan is not located in the Arctic Circle, there are reports that, in some northern areas of the country, ancient people also created myths around the aurora borealis. Some believe that the lights in the sky were somehow a reflection of the presence of gods or spirits from distant lands. For more traditional cultures, the light display was seen as a divine manifestation, a reminder of the presence of the kami, spirits of nature, and an opportunity for people to connect with the spiritual realm, a supernatural event that challenged the limits of reality. The mystery and magic of the aurora. What unites all these myths and legends around the world is the perception that the aurora borealis is much more than simple lights dancing in the sky. They are a language of the universe, a message from the gods, a bond with the spirits, and an opportunity for cultures to connect with the beyond. Each story, each myth, each legend is an attempt to explain and give meaning to one of the most spectacular and mysterious phenomena on Earth. For the peoples living in the most remote and frozen regions of the planet, where winter can be relentless and the sky a veil of darkness, the aurora borealis is a light of hope, a promise that, no matter how difficult the conditions may be, the human spirit and the connection with the divine will always prevail. Whether in the glow of a god in his blazing chariot, in the spiritual dances of past souls, or in the presence of sacred animals, the northern lights continue to enchant and inspire, passed down from generation to generation, keeping alive the stories that transcend time. And so, with each cold night when the sky is illuminated by the northern lights, the mystery of the aurora borealis remains, carrying with it the stories, myths, and legends of a world that sees in the sky more than just a natural phenomenon. They see a connection to the cosmos, a glimpse of the invisible magic that surrounds us and connects us to everything eternal. The northern lights in scientific research, unveiling the mysteries of the universe. On a cold night in the far north, where the vastness of the land seems to disappear into the horizon and the darkness is broken only by the stars, a light begins to shine in the sky. It is a celestial spectacle. The northern lights, a dance of fantastic colors that seems to defy the laws of physics and the human imagination. For the ancients, this phenomenon was magical, a manifestation of the gods, a cosmic message. But for modern scientists, the aurora is much more than just a beautiful visual phenomenon. It is a key to unlocking the mysteries of Earth's behavior, to understanding the magnetic field that surrounds us, and even to predicting how events in deep space may affect our daily lives, such as the technologies we use every day. When the lights dance in the polar sky, scientists observe with a focused gaze, not only admiring their beauty, but also seeking answers to questions that go far beyond mere observation. Behind the vibrant colors and fluid shapes lies a complex story about the interaction between Earth and the universe, a narrative that unfolds with every flash of light. What are the northern lights? The physics behind the spectacle. The northern lights occur due to an interaction between the solar wind, a stream of charged particles emitted by the sun, and Earth's magnetic field. These particles, primarily electrons and protons, travel through space and come into contact with Earth's atmosphere, When they hit gases like oxygen and nitrogen, these particles collide and release energy in the form of light, creating the colors we see in the sky. The science behind this interaction may seem simple, but it is deeply complex, and understanding its behavior has significant implications for our planet. By studying the northern lights, scientists can learn more about Earth's magnetic field, one of the most important defenses against the solar wind. This magnetic field acts as a shield, protecting Earth from the harmful effects of these charged particles, but it also directs them toward the polar regions, where they become visible as auroras, a window into Earth's magnetic field behavior. The study of the northern lights provides scientists with a window to directly and visually examine the behavior of Earth's magnetic field. This magnetic field, an enormous cloak invisible around the planet, not only protects life on Earth from cosmic and solar radiation, but also guides solar particles to the poles, where they interact with atmospheric gases, causing the aurora. Scientists use the aurora as a thermometer to monitor the health and activity of the magnetic field. Auroras are, in fact, a response of the planet to the intensity of the solar wind, which varies in intensity over the 11-year solar cycle. During periods of heightened solar activity, called solar flares, the intensity of the solar wind increases, and auroras become more vibrant and frequent. Understanding this cycle is crucial not only for predicting auroras, but also for forecasting the effects of space weather on our infrastructure. The connection to space weather. The term space weather refers to the behavior of the space around Earth, a region filled with radiation and energetic particles. Although the name may suggest something gentle and predictable, space weather can be extremely volatile and destructive. Solar storms, such as large solar flares, can release huge amounts of radiation, affecting Earth in various ways, interfering with communication satellites, navigation systems, and even causing damage to electrical grids on the ground. This is where the study of the northern lights becomes important. By observing the behavior of the auroras, scientists can predict changes in space weather and the potential impacts of these changes on vital technologies such as communication satellites and GPS systems. By studying the light emission patterns in the auroras, scientists can map the behavior of the solar wind, the intensity of solar particles, and the radiation flows reaching the planet. For example, an intense geomagnetic storm caused by a solar flare can generate auroras that extend farther south than usual. These events can also affect communication systems and, in more severe cases, even cause failures in power grid networks. Technologies and monitoring strategies. Scientific research on the northern lights isn't just about observing the phenomenon directly. Over the past few decades, scientists have developed sophisticated technologies to study the auroras in greater detail. This includes the use of satellites, radar, and space probes that measure the intensity of the solar wind and monitor the particles interacting with Earth's atmosphere. Scientists also use ground-based instruments, such as magnetometers, and specialized cameras to study the auroras in real time. These instruments are used in strategic locations, such as Alaska, Canada, Iceland, and Norway, where auroras are most visible and frequent. They help map fluctuations in Earth's magnetic field and identify how different types of solar particles interact with the atmosphere. Advances in quantum computing and atmospheric modeling have also allowed scientists to simulate the effects of different types of solar storms and understand how these phenomena affect our technology, as well as predict when they might occur. The northern lights as an early warning system. But scientific research on auroras is not just about the past and present. Discoveries made through the study of auroras also have the potential to help us anticipate large-scale events in the future. For example, scientists are developing early warning systems that can detect increases in solar activity and provide predictions about potential impacts on Earth space weather. These alerts could help protect sensitive infrastructures like power grids, satellites, and other critical technological systems, allowing us to take preventive measures to mitigate damage. The connection between the spectacle and scientific knowledge. While the northern lights are, in many ways, a manifestation of our planet's natural beauty, scientific research allows us to look beyond the dazzling lights in the sky. For scientists, Auroras are not just a visual phenomenon. They are a window into understanding cosmic behavior and the complex interactions between Earth and the surrounding universe. Every burst of light in the polar sky provides valuable information about the physics of space, space weather, and most importantly, how these cosmic phenomena can impact our daily lives. The northern lights, which many consider just a natural wonder, are actually a brilliant reminder that the universe is vast and mysterious, and our understanding of this vast cosmos is always expanding. The lights in the sky are not just a magical dance. They are an invitation to look more deeply at the world around us and the invisible forces that shape our planet and our future. And as scientists continue to study the auroras, each new discovery brings us closer to understanding not only the stars, but also the Earth itself. Thank you for reading. If you enjoyed this article, don't forget to like, share, and comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for more exciting content and discoveries about the wonders of our universe. Your support helps us create more amazing stories to share with you. Stay tuned for more.